Starting music in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of CCTV News. I'm Mary Battaglia.
And I'm Ryan Brown. Tonight we focus on a very serious topic, bullying. It's a significant problem and it's right here in Western New York. It's also the reason why one person committed suicide. Jeff Boyd takes a look at the issue.
Recently, the suicide of Jamie Rademeyer and other similar and tragic incidents have drawn the media's attention to the issues of bullying and suicide among teenagers. At Canisius, 2 students and their chapter of To Write Love on Our Arms have been working towards helping people with these issues to the best of their ability.
It's such a word that pervades society now. What is bullying? Is it just being mean to someone? Is it physically harming someone? Every year, and in increasing numbers, tons of college students and high schoolers are committing suicide, ending their lives, feeling that there's no way out, and the future is suffering for it.
To Write Love in Our Arms is an international organization that presents hope and finds help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, suicide, and a number of other mental health issues. And we try to raise awareness and break the stigma about all these things, and also fundraise to try to help people get the treatment that they need and stuff like that.
I asked them why they got involved with the To Write Love on Our Arms youth chapter here at Canisius.
Well, I originally got connected to Write Love in Our Arms as an organization because I want to be a counselor and I want to help people struggling with these things. I don't like the idea of people feeling alone and hopeless. So when I found out about To Write Love in Our Arms, I found out that they have a conference in Boston, and so I went out to that and they told me I have the potential to start a chapter on campus, and I just wanted to reach out to the student body. So
I think it's a really important issue, well, not just one issue, but all of the issues are really important to tackle, to get them out of the darkness and bring them to light. I know that's kind of a cliche saying, but really they are things that needed to be talked about because they're so important. And I mean, literally people's lives are at stake, and people need to talk about these issues and not just, skirt around them. They need to be directly administered to.
Recently, from Jamie Rademeyer's actually the publicity about Jamie Rademeyer's suicide, we had to present a info forum, I guess, to parents and school district counselors at Williamsville South. And we gave our information about what To Write Love in Our Arms does. We try to go out into the community and raise awareness and provide statistics, because even that alone can break the silence about these issues.
Finally, I asked them what they thought about media outlets portraying this as a new issue or a fad.
I really think that these issues are not new issues. They really have been going on for a long time. Depression and self-injury and substance abuse, they've been going on for decades and centuries.
It's not a fad, it's an actual illness, and people are trying to make light of the situation and make it seem like it's not that big of a deal. So it's kind of upsetting when people do that. And then To Write Love in Our Arms tries to actually raise awareness about these issues, and people try to turn To Write Love in Our Arms into a fad when it's not. It's just an organization reaching out and helping people that are struggling.
While it is still a relatively new and small organization on campus, both Molly and Jenna are dedicated towards helping To Write Love on Our Arms continue to grow and help more people in the future.
So Jeff, the Jamie Rademeyer case has made headlines across the country. Do you think this publicity will help put an end to bullying?
Well, I think it's a good thing to hear this getting out in the news. It's always good to talk about issues like this. The problem comes in when people hear this on the news or hear it from Lady Gaga and they think that it's a new problem, that it's something that's just coming out now, when in reality, it's a problem that's affecting everyone. It's affecting grammar school students, high school students, and even college students. 1,100 college students committed suicide last year alone. It's a very real problem that needs to be talked about more than just by the media. It needs to be in school systems as well, and people need to take personal responsibility for it.
Right. Do you think that Canisius students have outlets or resources that they can go to if they're having problems?
Yes, the counseling center here on campus, located on the tunnels over on main campus, will set up a free and confidential appointment for anyone who needs their services. And if you're interested in helping on the other side of it, helping people with these issues, Detroit Love on Our Arms meets at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evenings on the second floor of the Student Center.
Thanks. This is a really serious issue, and hopefully this information will help people put an end to bullying. Thanks, Jeff. Binge drinking is a problem. Brian Quinn tells us what the medical view is on this harmful activity. What you hear may surprise you.
Brian Quinn here, reporting from Canisius College. We all know that college experience is just as much about social life as it is about academics, but this can often put students in a dangerous situation. Despite knowledge of its dangers, the number of binge drinking students has remained high.
The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism defines binge drinking as 5 drinks for men and 4 drinks for women over a 2-hour period.
I met up with Drs. Kimberly Waltzer and Maria Testa at the UB Research Institute on Addictions to discuss the risks associated with this behavior.
Research shows that about 42% of college students have an incident of binge drinking meeting that definition in a past 2-week period. So binge drinking in college campuses is a significant occurrence. High-risk drinking is certainly very much associated with injuries, everything up to fatalities and DWI kinds of circumstances.
Does any research support the idea that the habit of binge drinking can lead to more serious problems later on?
It appears that more than half of college sexual assaults involve alcohol, and it's very heavy alcohol use in most of these cases, that women can be incapacitated and not be able to give consent. Sometimes they don't realize that they've been raped.
Reducing the drinking age under 21 will very much likely result in more injuries, more fatalities, more drinking among even younger age groups.
I then asked if there was anywhere to turn for someone who had felt they had a problem.
People having significant problems with alcohol or any other drug should be hopeful that treatment can be effective. There's ways to safely drink. Using a designated driver, drinking moderately, not binge drinking, that is, and drinking safely is going to be a much safer pathway than some of the high-risk drinking that goes on.
Brian Quinn, Canisius College.
So Brian, in your piece you said that binge drinking was considered 4 drinks for girls in 2 hours and 5 drinks for boys in 2 hours. Do you think that's accurate?
I believe it's accurate because that's the level where your blood alcohol content is 0.08, which is when it's illegal to drive an automobile, motorcycle.
Okay. And what are some of the risks that come with binge drinking?
A lot of the risks that comes with binge drinking is that people go farther than binge drinking. They do excessive binge drinking, and that this can eventually become a habit and lead to alcohol dependence and alcohol abuse, alcoholism, all those sorts of things that come from that.
Okay, do you think there's a way to prevent people from turning it into excessive drinking?
Well, it's difficult in college because most people see it as part of the culture, and they think that drinking is a social norm where only 42% of college students binge drink, but that 20% that drinks almost 10, 15 beers every 2 hours, those are the ones that make it seem like a college culture and that it's the normal thing to do.
Right. Okay, thank you. The Occupy movement is spreading across the nation. Is it working? What is the point? Jeff Gillette takes us to Occupy Buffalo.
Ever since the Occupy Wall Street protests began in New York City several months ago, copycat protests have broken out across the country. Buffalo's version is here in Niagara Square. But why are the protesters here? What do they want? And will they ever go home? What would you say is your main reason for being down here?
To end corporate greed, stop corporate welfare, reinstate the millionaire's tax, and abolish corporate personhood. It's going to take a long haul to get to that point, but yeah, I'm in it for the long haul.
So what would you say is your main reason for coming down here and occupying Buffalo?
I'm just sick and tired of the fact that all the banks, big banks, have been bailed out by taxpayer money. We'd like to see also a constitutional amendment banning corporate and union donations through political parties.
How long have you been camping out here for?
I've been camping out here since October the 17th. Actually got a tent. This is my tent over there. Yeah, that's a.
Name on it there?
Got my name on it. I'm planning to stay here through the rain and through the snow. We'll be here, stay put, and fight for the 99% that don't know about or even don't care. That's why we're here, to raise awareness.
The protesters of Occupy Buffalo come from many different parts of the area and have many different beliefs on why they're here. But one thing they do have in common is they're all in it for the long haul. For Canisius College, I'm Jeff Gillette.
So Jeff, what do you think the main reason is that people are downtown?
Well, I think a lot of people had their own personal goals, but there was some unity between the groups. A lot of people were against corporations. A lot of people were against big businesses, especially banks, a lot of the bailouts, and they had recently organized a trip to go to Albany, and they were going to protest the expiration of the millionaire's tax.
The weather is getting a little bit colder outside. Tomorrow we're actually supposed to have our first lake effect snowstorm. Do you think the weather will play a factor in them being downtown?
They've begun preparing for it. They've got thicker, heavier tents. They've been taking donations for heavy sleeping bags. They've been putting heaters in the tents to try to keep warm, insulation on the floors of the tents. So from what they've told me, they all plan on staying there throughout the winter.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can stay warm.
We'll see.
Thanks, Jeff. Now to another topic, food. Have you ever thought about a gluten-free menu? Lisa Statura tells us if it's worthwhile.
The gluten-free diet is now developing into a trend across the nation. Most college campuses are attempting to accommodate students with this allergy by bringing in better choices to their dining menus. I got a chance to interview Ken Swab, retail manager of Chartwell, about the changes to the school.
Students with gluten intolerance or celiac disease require special accommodations in resident dining facilities. Celiac disease is an autoimmune illness that affects the small intestine. Eating gluten creates an immune response in which it in turn damages the small intestine. As a result, nutrients are not absorbed, and the individual suffers from malnutrition, gastrointestinal problems, and stuff like that.
According to the National Foundation of Celiac Awareness, it is estimated that about 3 million Americans have celiac disease. However, only about 150,000 of that 3 million have been properly diagnosed. Those affected must obey a fairly strict avoidance of gluten-containing products. These products can be pastas, breads, crackers, and baked goods. However, the gluten protein can also be found in medications, condiments, and even types of alcohol. Schools notice more students are coming forward with this allergy and asking for a gluten-free alternative. The Undergraduate Student Association has taken note and is aggressively pushing for these changes.
Since last semester of spring 2011, we've been hearing people wanting gluten-free products on campus, and we've related that to Chartwell's, and they've really made things happen, and we're very pleased and think that it's going to be a big success.
The Chartwell Dining Service at Canisius College started to plan this change at the beginning of the semester. In order to accommodate students with this allergy, a new machine was bought to pre-make gluten-free bread so students with this intolerance can have meals they once could not enjoy.
The machine is made by a company called Bready, a self-contained system where we purchase the mixes. They come in sealed in a bag so the ingredients can't get contaminated. Each of the bags is one loaf of bread. When it's done, it comes out and you have a fully baked loaf of bread that can be sliced up and used for different desserts or different bread items. And we can make muffins, individual muffins. We can make hamburger buns out of the bread dough, and we can also make pizza dough. Having the products between the Old Main Cafe and the dining hall. We're one of the first ones to actually get the machine and start playing with it. We ended up getting 2 of them because we know there's going to be some of the demand on campus.
Chartwell's already brought in some vegan and vegetarian options, and now with this gluten-free options, I think a lot more students will be eating on campus, staying on campus, and getting involved. So I think it's going to be a good success.
With the new plan to offer these choices for the spring semester, students will be allowed to use their swipe cards and use these options as meals.
With the spring semester rapidly approaching, students will see new meal options. I know, I'm excited. I'm Lisa Statura.
So Lisa, first I have to ask, how was that bread?
Delicious. It was absolutely good. I actually got to take the rest of that loaf home with me,
Nice.
which made me and my mom very happy. So.
Yeah, you said that your mom is gluten-free, and that's something that really influenced you on researching this, right?
Yeah, my mom's been gluten-free for 18 years, and it's been interesting
trying the different foods that she brings home because half of them I don't like. So bringing home a loaf of bread that I like actually gives me hope for how everything's going to turn out.
Cool. And who is responsible around Canisius for really making these changes?
The Senate, they've been working aggressively with Chartwell to make sure that they can make the menu efficient for people with gluten-free allergies for next semester.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
In health news, we focus on a serious topic of breast cancer. Teresa Walton goes inside one of the nation's premier cancer hospitals to find out about the Pink Ribbon program.
Founded in 1898, Roswell Park was America's very first cancer institute.
Being one of a few freestanding cancer institutes, Roswell is a staple in the Buffalo community, as Roswell begins their hospitality right at their front doors, performing welcoming music for their patients.
Roswell Park has also been able to make the community conscious of Breast Cancer Awareness Month by the thorough care of its well-respected medical staff.
The month of October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so places all throughout the country chip in and really make everything pink. Pink is the national color for breast cancer awareness with the pink ribbon. I'm sure you've seen that. So Roswell did its part and did paint the park pink, Pledge to Go pink, basically turn all of Buffalo pink for the months of September and October. It's actually really exciting.
The mindset of the medical staff wasn't based on donations alone.
For us, it's not only a way to raise money to support the research that we do here at Roswell, but it's a great way to get the community involved because it's not just Roswell, it's Roswell pairing up with local businesses, with local restaurants, local salons, with the Buffalo Bills, with really just everyone in the communities come together to help create this sense of awareness. Chefs, the restaurant downtown, they paint the whole wall pink, and so every brick, it can be purchased and it can be put towards somebody's name.
To go along with local restaurants and athletes supporting the cause, there's also been some trendy fashion.
We did a Paint Me Pink campaign. These are cruelty-free feathers that 2 local salons supported Roswell by putting them in their hair.
Although there has been exciting events throughout the month of October, what truly matters is to be aware of what is at risk.
Specifically, we've learned of a lot of risk factors associated with it. Part of it is just as simple as knowing what your own personal history is and knowing an in-depth family history, because if you are at a higher risk, there are certain measures you can do to decrease that risk.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month was very successful in Buffalo, thanks in great part to Dr. Kumar and the staff at Roswell Park, who all helped to fight for the same cause.
So Nick, I know you worked with Teresa Walton on this report. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Pink campaign?
Well, the Pink campaign, Roswell Park did their part. The Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October, as all of you may know, but they also went into the month of November, and they really helped make everything in Buffalo pink. They had pink ribbons everywhere, basically, throughout the city of Buffalo.
Do you think that these promotions will encourage women to get checked more often?
I think they should. I mean, it's not that hard to get checked, and it's very important. You're dealing with cancer, and when you're dealing with cancer, you shouldn't take it lightly. And at the same time, people always think that breast cancer only affects women. Men should get checked too. I mean, a male could get breast cancer. It's not just a woman disease.
Thanks for your report. It's a really serious issue.
One more thing. You need to do me a favor.
Okay.
All right. You need to make sure that your family and friends all get checked as well for breast cancer.
Thanks, Nick. Tonight, we're ending our newscast with a fresh new face. Tim Hogues will soon serve Erie County as legislator. Ryan Brown had a chance to sit down with the legislator-elect.
There's a new face in Erie County legislator. His name is Tim Hogues. Although he may be new to government, he is very familiar with the area he is representing.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, lifelong resident, educated in the Buffalo public school systems, graduated from Campus West and Hutch Tech, and eventually went to the University of Buffalo, where I received a degree in Human Resource Management and Information Systems.
Tim Hogues has been elected to county legislature for the 1st District. One thing that Tim stressed during his campaign was that he wanted to be accessible to the community in order to understand their needs. This is evident in a series of upcoming listening tours being held in December.
So we just want to understand what's going on in the community, what are some of the issues that the citizens are dealing with, and some of the stuff they want me to work on.
As legislator, Tim is responsible for tackling many important issues in the county. This includes voting on issues involving the Buffalo Bills, whose stadium lease is expiring in 2012.
Whenever that lease is up, there's that big discussion, how much money do we want to pour into this? And obviously the Bills are a vital part of the city of Buffalo and the Western New York region, and so we want to make sure that we're able to keep them, but we also want to make sure that there's not too much of a burden on the taxpayers.
It should be known that Tim Hoax is both a family man and the minister in his church, and is obviously very excited about being elected.
We listened to WBEN as they were reporting some of the results, and so about, say it was about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30, we saw that we had a good portion of the districts had reported and that we had a pretty good lead, and so we were pretty confident at that point. We're going to make some good changes and some lasting changes that the people of Erie County need.
All right, we on our way.
All right.
We on our way.
With Canisius College, I'm Ryan Brown.
It looks like Tim Hoax is a great choice for Erie County.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, really easy to talk to. So he should be good for Erie County.
Is he excited for his new position?
Definitely. He's new to government, so he wants to do a lot, bring a lot of change, which is good. So
Great.
should be excited.
Thanks for watching tonight's edition of CCTV News. I'm Mary Battaglia.
And I'm Ryan Brown. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.